ABC Thursdays.
Firefighters, we're family.
Station 19 is back for its final and hottest season yet.
The subject has explosive chemicals.
Get down!
With fiery romances.
You're the love of my life.
And Andy is finally in charge.
I'm gonna be the best damn captain the station has ever seen.
Station 19, all new Thursdays, 10/9 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes, facts, boots, and other stuff.
In this week's issue, Batman sings Christmas carols and Frosty is THICC.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach, joined as always by the marvelous Mighty Man Wonder, Mr. Mike.
Hello. Would you take a quarter for that? We were talking about a radio guy that we know, who always had a very distinctive voice, and I saw him at I probably told this on here before, but I saw him at a garage sale one time, and I didn't see him. I was looking for stuff in the garage sale, and from behind me, I heard, "Would you take a quarter for this?" And I just always remember that. Like, it brought him down to human level for me.
Well, that's good. You were like, it's good to see that your heroes are kind of just the same as you.
Never meet your heroes.
Well, I mean, in that case, I don't think anything bad. Always be disappointed?
I'm thinking so,
Have you ever met?
Because they're all people, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. They're all the same, just like you and me.
You put them on these pedestals, and they're always going to fall. They're always like, "Would you take a quarter for this?"
Doesn't seem like that far of a pedestal.
I like feet stuff. You know, things like that.
That doesn't bother me. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot worse things. I'm not saying like I'm in. I feel like.
Yeah.
This is
I think
a
you opened the door
slope.
there.
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope.
And this is not
all right.
what our podcast is about.
Put your feet in that slippery stuff.
But if you're into this, maybe
No
then
shame.
Mike and I can start a Patreon and we can talk about stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I'd talk about feet stuff all day long.
Yeah.
Sure.
We just have to hide it behind a Patreon.
That's a lovely corn. You know, things like that.
Oh, man.
That's the phrase that pays this week. That's a lovely corn. Yeah.
Lovely.
First one to call in wins tickets to the fair.
So, Mike, are you feeling festive at all?
Yeah, man. It's
I'm
holiday
skipping over
season.
tickets to the fair
you're
because
good.
it's past fair season.
Oh, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it's holiday season, man.
Are you a festive person?
I get festive-ish. I would like
festive-ish for the rest of ish.
It sounded kind of like I was into something. I don't know why. Why is this a highly festive or fetish episode? We had our holiday party last night.
Yeah,
you were unable to attend.
I apologize.
And that's no big deal. But you have been sick in the last week or so, and then your wife got sick. Yes. I just wanted to show you. You asked me if I was a festive person.
Oh, Mike's gonna pull up picture evidence.
The pictures are very blurry, and I don't know why my pictures are so blurry. But look at that! Look at that jacket I had on.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
you were very festive.
I was
a
very
picture
festive.
with Santa. That's
I had a picture
festive.
with Santa. Yeah, me and Corey had a picture with Santa. This gives you a better idea of what the jacket actually looked like. Look at that.
Oh wow,
Way
that is fancy.
Outside of my comfort zone, right?
I will ask though, is that the tag still left on it?
This was when I bought it. I sent it.
Okay.
I sent it to my wife to approve. Yeah. No, I just leave the tags on everything. I take it back later that night.
I get when people like try to
Sure.
they try to hide it. Mike
Does
just
that help
doesn't
if I show it to
care.
you that way? It looks like okay. There you go. So,
I thought you zoomed in on like another picture from last night with somebody.
I just left the damn tags on. Yeah. I'm trying to impress people at all times. You know, I want them to see that it says.
Oh, I forgot.
I want them to see that it says Costco on it right there.
And it has like the multiple yellow stickers on top of yellow stickers to show how on clearance.
Still got the white thing on it,
too.
so you know the scanner goes off.
So you can be like, oh yeah, I got this on sale.
This? Yeah. No, it was fun. We took over an art gallery and we had food and fun and merriment and we had a white elephant, but I call it a gold elephant exchange, and we had some gifts and stuff. I was given a very nice succulent
Ooh. I heard it's hard to kill those.
Right in front of everybody. And so
I was heard it's very hard to kill those.
That's what I told my wife. I was saying, this is perfect for me. This is the perfect thing because it's very hard to kill it. She goes, oh, no, it's much easier to kill than you would think. And I was like, oh, great. Thanks for bringing me down.
I have heard of people being able to. It just hasn't happened to me. But that doesn't mean that my wife's not going behind and like secretly watering it. I just don't know that kind of thing.
And I asked her, like, how often do I have to water it? She goes, oh, just a few drops a week. It's like, well, then how hard can it be to kill?
You just like have to remember to like accidentally like spit on it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not like blowing smoke in it every day or anything, you know.
Put it under a blow dryer.
I'm not going to pee on it. So,
did anybody sing any at all?
No, but we had a DJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like singing Christmas carols and stuff?
Yeah, I don't want that.
Well,
I don't like Christmas music, number one.
That's fine. But would it shock you if I told you I have a main attraction, if you will, for our show today, but I also have another little secret. Not another little secret, but another little story to add into it. I teased a little bit at the end
your
of
foot fetish.
Exactly.
Sure.
Again, our Patreon. So, but I teased at the end of last week's episode that I have two kind of Christmas ideas coming up. Yeah. Of course, we have Naughty and Nice.
Naughty and Nice.
And this is our nice episode. Next week, we have Lobo's.
Oh,
Christmas.
Naughty episode.
Exactly. And I have another Batman-themed Christmas story to go along with that. Okay. But the one today, this is more nice. We're going to focus on some old Dell 4-color comics of Frosty the Snowman.
Dell?
Yes.
Like
Dell.
the people who make the computers?
The computer company. Different Dell Publishing.
Okay.
But before we get into that, let's look at a Batman comic from February, of all places, of 1970. So it's a little late for...
Wait, it's a Christmas one from February?
It's a Christmas story.
How weird.
It's in February. Huh. But...
Okay.
It's one of those where it's like a longer story at first, shorter story at the end. Yeah. But so Batman number 219.
This is the blue and gray Batman.
This is the blue and gray Batman.
Okay. All right.
So
cool.
Essentially what we have here is a story called The Silent Night of Batman.
Oh, all right.
So Batman is kind of using his grappling hook to kind of, just maneuver across Gotham. As panels, it's kind of talking about how it's Christmas Eve in Gotham. The sidewalks are busy. It's such just a great time of year with it being Christmas. But the bat signal all of a sudden shows up, and it kind of cuts through the feeling there of this, the Christmas spirit kind of feeling.
It should.
And it says, where's the line? The bat signal shimmers against a snow-filled cloud. The atmosphere takes on a celestial composition.
Wow.
For 2,000 years, mystics have experienced the many mysteries surrounding Christmas.
Okay.
Tonight, there will be one more. And that's where it says the silent night of the Batman.
So we're comparing the bat signal to the star that led the three wise men to Jebus.
Yes.
Okay.
And away we are.
Cool. Great.
So here's the thing. You can kind of see what I was talking about.
Look at those folks. Yeah.
So Batman
very festive.
Swoops in.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, hey, Commissioner, what's the emergency here? And Commissioner Gordon goes, oh, no emergency at all, man. I just kind of called you in because it's Christmas Eve and thought that, it's the season to be jolly. Maybe you should take a night off patrol. That's essentially what Commissioner Gordon
called you in to say take
a night off. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
And Batman's like...
It's not the way jobs work.
Batman says in response, like the saying goes, you know it and I know it. Now tell them. Crime and disaster aren't inclined to observe holidays.
Well, Batman's got a point.
He's got a point, but he's obviously having no fun.
He's a workaholic.
Of course. That
Batman
fits Batman, though.
Yeah, he's a bataholic.
Gordon tells him, hey, you know what? Tonight's going to be different. And Batman's like, you know what? He kind of sounds inspired. Whatever, I'll just stay here a little bit. The cops try to talk him into singing Christmas carols with them, Mike.
Okay.
And Batman says...
In February.
Says, why not? I can enjoy myself until something happens. And they all start singing Jingle Bells.
Okay.
Seeing as you can see them there singing Jingle Bells.
Look at them go.
So they're dashing through the snow.
This is like serious comic book art here too, man.
It is. But what we get intercut with while they're singing, we see art. There is no speech bubbles in this, but it tells a story through just panels of art. So a little kid who we presume to be an orphan steals a lady's...
Why do we presume they're an orphan?
I'll show you in a second.
Okay, all right.
Steals a lady's already wrapped Christmas present as she's leaving a
store,
department store.
That's damn orphans.
He runs away to the group of kids, and they unwrap the toy, and it's a Batman figure.
Oh.
So they see it, and they think about it for a second, and they wrap the present back up. And they
in the wrapping paper they just destroyed?
And they go and take it back to the lady they stole it from.
Sorry, lady, here's your Batman.
Then Batman, along with the cops, start singing "We Three Kings of Orient are, bearing gifts, we traverse afar." And we see a man.
And Batman's in his costume the whole time.
He's in his costume the whole
Christmas
time.
carols in February.
And we see a man dressed like a traditional gangster kind of bad guy in Batman does, or somebody up to no good.
I'll get you, you see.
Kind of got a fedora, and he's walking the streets, and he's holding a gun in his hand. And he bumps into a shadowy figure.
It is open carry in Gotham.
Yeah, and he bumps into a shadowy figure, and he looks up, and it's Batman's shadow.
Boy, Batman is singing hard in this picture.
He is. We Three Kings, right? So the thug lifts his gun up and points it at Batman.
I'm sorry, but just imagine being a criminal and you see Batman over there with the barbershop quartet, singing.
Well,
Christmas
you don't
carols.
see him at this. We see that, but we see obviously that Batman can be in two places at once because he just bumped into him.
I see.
You see that?
Okay, I thought we were time shifting here.
Yeah. So, or we could be time shifting. You're right. And he shows up out there, but we see that he's bumped into Batman. Well, he pulls his gun up to point at him, and nope, Sykes, it's a Batman statue that's wearing sunglasses and a Santa beard that says "Support Wayne Foundation Christmas Drive for the Blind." The villain looks at his gun and throws it away in a trash can that says "Keep Gotham City clean."
Oh, thank God.
Then Batman and the rest of the cops start singing "You Better Watch Out, You Better Not Cry." So we have Santa Claus is Coming to Town being sang by the group.
So this dude with a gun bumps into a Batman statue, like a cigar store Indian type statue. Here's what I don't understand is like, oh wait, it's got a beard too.
Yeah, I told you, that's the Santa
glasses, beard. Yeah. And he just looks at his gun and throws it away. Okay, all right, great, fantastic. I'm tracking so far.
Okay, so real quick, just for me. So while they're singing, Santa Claus is coming to town, right? You better, yeah. We see this woman who we can assume is named Patty because she's crying over a note. No, it's an older woman.
Okay.
I don't mean like a woman,
like an old hag.
No. I don't know, just a middle-aged woman. I don't know.
I got you, sure. Yeah.
20s. I don't know. She's just a woman.
She's just a sad lady.
I hadn't aged her really until now. And, but she's crying over a note.
So old.
And there's a picture in front of her of a soldier that says, "To my wife, Patty.
Uh-oh.
Forever your loving husband, Ted."
Sorry, I died.
And then it shows her with note in hand, turning and looking back at her Christmas tree as she's closing the door to leave to go somewhere.
Oh, yeah. She's so sad.
And she's buying a flower from a flower salesman, street vendor.
Best place to buy
at a bridge. And she walks to the bridge and she reads her note and
Does she jump off the bridge?
She folds it and she has a rose and she throws the rose over the bridge and she gets ready. And all of a sudden, a bus stops, and it's Ted. And Ted runs over and hugs her.
The soldier?
And then Batman and the cops start singing.
You always know when Zach doesn't answer me that something's coming up in these panels.
But yes, it was the soldier.
I see it.
Her husband. But then it's Batman and the cops begin singing "Silent Night."
She just wasted a good flower.
"Holy night, all is calm, all is bright." And Batman goes, "Good heavens, it's 6 o'clock. We've been here all night." That's right. Batman spent all night singing Christmas carols with the cops while nothing happened in Gotham.
Okay.
So it shows you that he does not need to go out every single night. But
he
goes, We haven't been disturbed by one report of robbery, murder, drug peddling. Like, he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, what do I do?
And he's like, anything. It's like the spirit of Christmas peace took hold of everyone.
Okay.
You know, you've heard of the spirit of Christmas peace.
I experience it every day.
And then it looks like a ghost of Commissioner Gordon says, but was it the Christmas spirit, Batman? Might it not be you or I? What? And Batman, confused, goes, what?
Is Batman doing acid?
Is
that what this is?
Look down there. And he wipes his eyes and he goes, my eyes are playing tricks. And he wipes it and look, and Commissioner Gordon's back to being normal. And Commissioner Gordon says, yeah, we've been here all night. Not a single call came in for you. Looks like your investment, you know, in the city has really paid off. And you were able to take a night off because of it, you know.
Okay.
And Batman goes, investment, spirit of Batman, Christmas spirit. For some reason, he started talking like Steven Seagal. And then it says, as the spirit of the peaceful night becomes one with the city, dawn creeps and covers the skyline.
Who's Dawn?
In a new, I don't know. It doesn't talk anymore about her.
Okay.
And a new day begins. And then it says, for 2,000 years, mystics have
with the Jesus thing again. Come on.
The many mysteries surrounding Christmas. Today, there is one more. The Silent Night of Batman. In this holiday season of goodwill, peace from Mike Frederick, writer, Neil Adams, and Dick Giordano, artist, and Julie Schwartz,
hell?
editor.
That's it?
That's the story.
What happened with Commissioner Gordon Ghost?
No, that's it. He wiped his eyes, and he was like, oh, I was seeing things. That's it. He was so tired from singing Christmas carols all night.
I'm gonna say something here. I did not like that. Did not like it very much. I don't like Batman singing.
Why not?
Because it sucks.
He's been such a good crime fighter in Gotham that he was able just to stay up all night on Christmas Eve and sing Christmas carols with the Gotham police. Here's the thing too: nothing happened in Gotham that the cops stayed in.
Yeah.
Like, if that can happen, Gotham really isn't that bad of a place.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And the other thing is, I don't know if you've ever paid attention to the news on Christmas. There's a lot of shit that goes down on Christmas.
There is.
People still get killed. Drugs still get taken.
Things happen. Like Batman said, they don't observe holidays.
Yeah.
In Gotham, they
but
do. So they can sing Christmas
story
carols.
Of 2,000 years, it did.
Yep.
Well, that's great.
So there you go. There was another one that I didn't get into. That I just didn't have time to read into. That's another Christmas centric, but Batman has to fight a demon bear in it.
Okay.
But
it literally says bear demon.
Sorry.
Bear demon. I summon you from the nether world. Okay.
I think it's netherworld.
I'd say neither. I'm so sorry.
Well,
don't appropriate my speech.
My bad. We'll save that one for a different time. But
demon bear.
What we have coming up next.
Have you seen that Cocaine Bear? Yeah. You know that movie?
Yeah. I mean, it's based on a true story, and the only thing that's probably true about it is the fact that there is a story about a bear taking cocaine in real life. Like, I'm sure, like, you know.
Yeah, they dropped a bale. Yep. He found it. He sniffed it. But then he died.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't kill a bunch of people.
So everything that happened, like, that's the only thing that's based on a true story. Everything else that happened after it, nothing.
Partially based on a true story.
Then that's the thing you have to watch about all those. All those based on a true stories are probably like nuggets are true.
Yeah.
95% still just for story.
Stupid Cocaine Bear.
Oh no, this is a perfect spot for us to go ahead and take a break and hear from our sponsor. That is it Cocaine Bear?
It is.
I hope it's not.
New from Universal, Cocaine Bear.
Damn it, we should have thought about that. All right, well then let's hear from Cocaine Bear. From those other great people.
It was just a bunch of sniffing for like 30 seconds. That was all it was.
Oh, man.
It doesn't seem like a good movie. I don't know. All right.
I mean, it's just...
Yeah, I know. We got through Batman singing Christmas carols.
So now we get to... And I'm going to explain these just a little bit.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why does it cover Batman talking about politics?
Because that's the main story in it. Like the other Christmas, the Christmas one was the secondary story. That's why it was shorter too.
Death casts the descending vote.
Yeah. I don't know what was going in the actual Batman
He's fallen out of an
but he
airplane?
got pushed out of an airplane.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, this is kind of like the based on a true story stuff. The covers never really match the story.
Not
They're always
always.
like a super big exaggeration.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I think you would be mad if like that exact panel was reused again.
I'd be mad if Batman was singing Christmas carols on the front of the damn comic book. That's what I'd get mad at.
Well, that's why it's a secondary story. They didn't sell it on that.
Yeah. They didn't
I'm saying if he
sell
gets
it
pushed
to
out of the
anybody.
panel, but if they reuse that,
I don't think anybody approved that story.
somebody had to. It was in there. It was approved by the Comics Code.
Oh,
so
the Comics Code,
approved it.
sure. That would have been a cool job to have, huh?
Working in the Comics Code?
Where you have to read through all the comics and go, yep, nope, nope.
You know, they have like, I've seen it. I'll have to bring some of these up here before, but there's either books or like collections of comics where they show like what was edited.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
I have to find some of
That'd
those,
be
like some
cool.
of the old like EC ones, like before and after and stuff like that. So I'll have to look at that and see if I can find those. But we are going
Just
back
like
in time.
Genitals Comics or something.
There was none of that.
Nope, can't
there
do
was,
that.
I did find out this week that there was such a thing as Penthouse Comics in the 90s. Did you know
Really?
this?
Was there really? No, I had no idea.
Apparently, they tried to catch in on the whole speculator boom with
Speculator boom.
yeah, of the 90s.
What are you talking about? Speculator.
Okay,
boom. What does that
so-
mean?
Okay, so let's talk just comics in general.
Sure.
This is from my understanding. So if anybody listening's like, you're off about this, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on this, but from my understanding, this is how it works. So comic books got popular again in the late 80s and 90s.
Yeah, there was a while there when they were kind of
And it dropped off.
Yeah.
Remember when it got big again? And
It's kind of like sports cards and everything. It all goes through those cycles.
And then you had things like the death of Superman.
Yeah.
And everybody wanted a copy of that. And then like Marvel started re-releasing titles starting from number 1. So like X-Men started at number 1.
Right.
There were a lot of books that they started off at number 1s, and then they had variant covers and they had holographic covers.
Yeah,
and
I
they had,
remember all that. They came in bags.
yeah, there was so many.
Sure.
And it was all of this that speculation that these things are going to eventually be worth money.
I see. There we go. There's the speculator market.
Right?
I got
and so
you.
people bought it all up.
Okay.
And then realized
I didn't recognize that phrase.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In association with comics. That's all I was asking. Yeah.
So there we go.
I thought you were mispronouncing speculum.
No.
Oh,
what is that?
That's for another show.
All right. Is that also behind our Patreon wall?
Yeah, very much so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to Google that when I'm done.
Yeah, you do it away from this building.
Oh, great. So we're going to go back in time a bit to the 1950s. And Dell 4-Color Comics printed a lot of different
4-color comics.
Yeah, they call because it's,
Yeah, 4-color process.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. Sure.
But they had
It's
a
just
bunch of
weird to
different
point that out.
license. Yeah. Well, I think that's just how maybe they're
Before this, comics were all black and white?
No.
Oh,
I think there's code before that. I think it's just how they differentiate between maybe Dell's later comics.
Okay. Yeah, it's whatever. Sure.
But they had a lot of licensed comics and stuff, so they printed a lot of like Walt Disney comics and a lot of different characters like that and stuff. But so
It's kind of like saying color TV antenna or something. Sure.
every winter, they would have a Frosty the Snowman comic that would come out in November.
Yeah, I love
So,
when
like,
Frosty fights crime.
I found 2 randomly that we'll cover here, and they're both filled with 4 stories each. Kind of. It's like an anthology of different Frosty stories in one. I'm not going to cover all 8 of these. I'm going to cover the best ones out of them and just briefly just kind of be like,
that sounds great. Sure, let's do it.
So the first one we'll start with is Frosty the Snowman from November 1st of 1951.
Right, nice.
Great little cover here.
It is a really good cover. I mean, it's actually kind of it's fun.
Yeah. No, like
Frosty's got a big old butt.
Oh, he does. Frosty's got a dunk.
Frosty packing.
So, the first story is one of the ones we will cover because it's just kind of weird.
Wait, it's called 4-color comics, and then the first page is in black and white.
Yeah, the inside cover was in black and white. I know.
Bastards.
I know. So our first story is essentially Frosty comes out of
Wait, what?
the ice house.
Oh. Frosty comes out.
Yeah, so all the kids, it's like the first snow of winter.
Okay.
So they all run out and they go see Mr. Whitlassy to see, hey, it's below freezing.
Mr. Whitlassy?
That's his name. Whitlassy.
Okay, sure. Seems like you could go with a simpler name, right? If you're writing this comic.
I guess.
Mr.
Yeah.
Smith.
But then, lo and behold, hey, yeah, it is the freeze. Let's go see if Frosty can come out now. Knock, knock on the ice house. Yeah, hey, everybody. There's Frosty.
So
I guess he's just hanging out in the ice house until it's, freezing outside. So
Frosty is an ambulatory, living, breathing snowman.
yes. So think
Who
of
lives in an ice house that the kids know about.
yes,
Okay.
exactly. So it's never, obviously his origin is never given, but I would assume if you know the Christmas Carol,
Yeah, but in the Christmas Carol,
You know the
doesn't
origin.
he melt in the Christmas Carol?
well, no, he doesn't. He goes, I'll say goodbye, that I'll be back again someday.
And he
Like,
goes glub, glub, glub and dies.
no,
Right.
no.
Okay.
He comes back. Santa brings him back to life. Remember, happy birthday.
That's a whole different thing, though.
That's the animated
That's
one.
the
but still,
bastardization of the Frosty story.
it is not. It is my childhood, and it is Jimmy Durante singing "Frosty
That's
the
true.
Snowman."
That's true.
Frosty the Snowman. You didn't
Yeah.
know you were going to get that on this
That's right.
episode,
That's
did
good
you?
stuff right there, man.
Oh man,
That was pretty damn close, too.
Mm-hmm. So the kids are so excited for Frosty to be able to come back out and play, and
All right. So they go and they knock on his ice house and they let him out.
yeah, and
Out
so
comes the doomed,
out comes Frosty.
living, breathing snow
He's
person.
so happy. And you know what's funny is they always say with a corncob pipe and a button nose, but I
Yeah.
never realized or think about it being a button nose until it's up close.
It looks weird, right?
And it looks
like
weird.
a pig's nose.
kind of in a way, except
Yeah.
with 4 holes.
It ought to be a carrot.
That's what I think, but he doesn't have a carrot nose.
That's
So
a depression.
Frosty and the kids have a snowball fight, and then Frosty's like, hey, let's go get ice cream, because I didn't know if you know this, snowmen love ice cream.
Snowmen do love ice cream, and I love when they throw these snowballs, how it leaves snow holes in him. It's just like thump, 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 and they go right into him.
And then it just becomes part of
That's
him.
what
Like,
it is.
he just
gets
gains
bigger.
weight.
Yeah, thump, thump, thump.
So yeah, so
He's
they
like
go.
he's like the marshmallow man.
So they go to the ice cream shop, and he orders.
Wait, does he say what flavor?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it.
Well, I was trying to try to guess.
Okay, yes.
What flavor does Frosty like? Peppermint?
Okay,
I thought it was something Christmassy, maybe.
Nope.
No?
so
Rocky Road?
hot chocolate for everybody,
That's going to melt this poor bastard.
but I'll have a big dish of real cold vanilla ice cream.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
And he
Yeah.
says, "Yep, gang. Ask any snowman, and he'll say vanilla ice cream's his favorite dish."
Okay. What about snow ladies?
They don't have a
What do
word.
they like?
They live in a very I can't make fun of it if I can't think of the word.
Well, they're like non-sexual, right?
Snowmen are asexual?
think
No,
they are,
because
right?
no.
Well, because it's men and women, right?
Yeah, but Frosty has like a girlfriend in like one of the cartoons, I think.
Does he?
Or there's a female. There are female snowmen. I remember.
Does she have like...
Or no, there's a claymation one. Yeah, he has a wife and kids.
He has kids?
And like Christmas, there's a Christmas in July with like him and Rudolph. That's like Rankin Bass, I think.
And he has like snow kids?
I think. Hold on. These just keep taking turns.
And Rankin Bass is the maker.
the
of it,
claymation.
right?
Yeah. Oh man, this is a great podcast. I think in Christmas in July, and if I remember this, I can't believe I do, because ABC Family. Do you remember ABC Family?
I do
Mike?
remember ABC Family. It now is called Freeform.
Yes.
Yeah.
They used to have like 25 days of Christmas. And they would also do Christmas in July and replay some of it. But yeah, see, there's Frosty and his wife. I'm pretty sure they have.
She got snow hair.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure they have kids. Oh, no. Yeah, she does have snow hair, but that's
Snow
also a
children.
veil.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have kids, but yeah. So see, there you go.
Okay.
There.
Great. That's fantastic.
I guess they're boom. Yeah. Found it. There he is with the
Frosty
snow
got-
kids.
Oh, look at those little snow childrens. Huh.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Why is Rudolph still so small? Because, like, I'm thinking,
That's the thing, because
Why
Frosty
didn't
Snow
Rudolph-
Kids grew to be
that's what I'm
like,
saying. So why didn't, is that Rudolph Jr.?
I don't think so. I think it's actually Rudolph.
Okay.
It's been a while since I watched that great content that came out in 1979.
All right. So,
So there you go.
Frosty
So
loves him
we
some
found
vanilla.
out, but snowmen can also have kids.
Yeah.
So he's getting ready. He has other things he wants to go check out, like in the forests and stuff, or he's going to, that's what he wants to do. He wants to hang out and rest a bit before he kind of overheats. And
Yeah, that's a bad thing for a snowman.
yeah.
You don't want them to overheat.
And I got a little head up by myself.
But
That's what he thinks. He says after the ice cream.
But
Sorry.
it's cool for them to drink hot chocolate.
That's true.
Sure.
But he tells the kids bye. He's like, all right, I'm going to go off and do some other stuff. I'll play with you guys again later. Like, snowmen have their others. Like, Frosty doesn't just play with kids all day.
Yeah.
He's got to go, like, check out with some of the furry woodland creatures. As we'll
Sure.
see.
Yeah. He's going to go see what the squirrels are doing.
Exactly.
I get it,
But
yeah.
before he goes, the kids ask, hey, will you judge our snowman contest? And so he's like, sure. And to make it extra special, I'll put my magic hat on each of your snowmen so they'll come to life
So
and we'll judge them on their talents.
So these kids are playing God.
Yeah, if you word it like that, I
Right?
guess so. They're building creations and Frosty's bringing them to life, yes. But so like he puts the hat on Mary's snowman's head and it does like a handstand. Then or a somersault. Then he puts the hat on Willie's snowman's head and it juggles.
Willie's.
Then he put it on Georgie's.
juggles?
Yeah.
It juggles
All
snowballs.
right, no, it dances. I'm sorry, it
Oh, okay.
dances. Then it puts on we put the hat on Georgie's snowman's head.
Georgie, Willie.
And it's
Sure.
kind of weird to follow me here. This is kind of weird. That snowman's talent is singing, and he sings Frosty the Snowman. Is it not weird that the thing you brought to life sings songs of praise to you?
Well, this is getting very biblical. Like it's I created you, now praise me kind of thing. Yeah.
Frosty's
like the snow god.
Oh, Billy's is the one that juggles. I knew somebody juggled.
Are they juggling snowballs?
Yeah, they are.
That's weird too, right?
See?
That'd be
Yeah.
like you and I just taking chunks out of ourselves and
And
juggling.
it. Yeah. Then, so we go through everybody, and he
Meat
goes, all right,
juggling.
now that I've got everybody judged, the winner is. And then all of a sudden, they're like, no, you haven't judged everybody. Come judge mine. And so he walks
It's just
over
like
there.
this misshapen lump of snow.
And so he walks over there, and he goes, my, I'm sorry, my boy. I'm afraid I didn't notice.
I'm sorry, my
And
boy.
he goes to put his hat on this obviously evil-looking snowman who has corn cobs like sticking out of his ears and a beard, an evil beard. And with the hat on, the obviously evil snowman begins to
beard,
laugh.
sure.
Yeah, begins to laugh and says, "I'll tell you what I'm going to do, sucker. I'm going to seal
Sucker?
your."
He says sucker?
He does. He goes, "I'm going to seal your hat. All right, I'm going to run off with your hat. That's what. Come on, Butch." And he grabs the kid who made him, and the evil snowman takes off running with Butch.
So he has to put the hat on him to bring him to life.
Yeah.
And then the dude says, guess what, sucker? I'm taking your hat. But is Frosty still alive?
Yes.
Why?
But the other snowmen aren't. You know, the ones that he puts the hat on?
None of this shit tracks. I don't understand any of this.
Here's the thing, too. Here's how I've worked it out to make it logistically work. You ready for me? Ready for? And to me, this is a little disturbing. So for this contest, Frosty is giving the snowmen life, and they are then choosing, after they do their talent, in front of a Frosty who cannot move or do anything. They have to choose to give life back to Frosty.
Oh, my God.
Right? And then Frosty just moves on to the next, knowing they might not get life again.
Wow.
Right? That's the only way it works, because...
Well, God gives us free will.
You think that...
So does Frosty.
And then, so the kids go, Frosty, run after him and get your hat.
I'm a snowman. I can't run.
And he tells them, I can't. You see, without my magic hat, I can't move a single step.
But he can still talk and
He
think.
can still talk and think and move. So I don't know why he's different than the rest of the snowmen. Also, remember that because they never followed that through any of these other stories.
Super big hole.
He moves plenty of times without his hat.
Okay.
So BS on that. They just did it for this story.
Well, maybe Frosty leaves the hat on so much that there's residual magic.
Maybe
it leaks magic all through
and so it's just all through his head.
His snowy body.
So Butch and the evil snowman run off.
Butch and the evil snowman.
Well, that's the little evil kid's name.
I get it. Yeah, sure.
Run off, and the kids have to go chase them down. Well, obviously, the evil snowman wants ice cream.
The evil snowman looks like a juggalo.
He kind of does. I didn't see that until you just pointed out.
He looks like
does.
a juggalo.
But so he wants ice cream, obviously. But you want to know how we know he's evil too? Guess what?
Chocolate.
Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
And now he goes in and he's like, 2 plates of double scoop chocolate ice cream.
Oh, shit. Double scoop.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, and he just
bastard.
keeps ordering more and more. And then when he's done, like the other kid, Butch, gets a stomach ache and he's like, I'm good. I don't want any more.
I'm good.
So he gets ready to leave. And the worker, the ice cream, what would you call the guy behind the
Ice
counter?
parlor entrepreneur.
Yeah, sure. Says, hey, wait a minute. You had 20 dishes of ice cream and you haven't paid for it. And the snowman says, oh, yeah? Here. And he punches him in the face. And then they just run away from the ice cream and soda shop.
Why didn't they make this TV show?
I don't know.
This is a good one.
So then Butch starts getting cold, hanging out next to a snowman all the time. And the evil snowman says, what, are you getting cold feet? And he goes, yeah, I'm cold all over. Besides, I don't feel so good. I think I'm going home. So Butch tells him, yeah, whatever, you little sissy, go home. Like, the snowman is evil.
Yeah.
So
calls him a sissy.
He does. So the snowman takes off. He laughs at him after he makes fun of him. And then he realizes that the other kids are on his trail. So he takes off running and he hides up on a roof. As the kids round the corner looking for him, he pushes all the snow off the top of the roof down on top of the kids. The evil snowman is attempting to murder kids.
He creates an avalanche on the children.
Yeah,
sure.
See, look at that. He just pushes it all off onto the kids.
Screw you, kids.
And then they pop up and they laugh because their kids like, oh, that was fun.
That was fun.
He's like curses, and he runs into a dead end, and he just finds the first open door and heads in. And he doesn't read the sign, and it just says furnace room, no trespassing.
Oh.
So by the time the kids get there, they go down, and he's already just a melted puddle mess. And the hat's there.
What keeps this from happening again, though?
You just don't build evil snowman.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How do you know you're building an evil one?
You don't build it with a beard.
And you don't give it chocolate ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
So they get the hat back. They take it back to Frosty. Frosty then goes to visit Butch, who's at home because he wasn't feeling good because of that tummy ache.
Yeah. Well, he had 10 plates of ice cream.
And Butch apologizes to Frosty. And Frosty's like, dude, don't worry, Butch. It's okay. We all make mistakes. Just glad you know. It's all good.
I really hope he called him dude.
And then I don't know.
Dude, don't worry about it.
I'm
Frosty.
That's the end of that story.
So he just gets his hat back from the dead snowman.
Yeah.
But the beard's still floating in the water.
That's it.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite ones.
I'm happy.
We have one more that I love just as much as that one that we'll get to here in a bit.
Yeah.
There's one with a snow bunny.
A snow bunny.
Right? Or called the snow bunny.
When I picture a snow bunny in my head, it does not look like that rabbit. But okay.
No.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of...
I've seen too many ski-based 80s movies, I think.
Yeah, probably. This one's just a bunch of like Frosty doing things and the bunny being like, oh, I can do that too. And Frosty being like, hey, don't do things you don't know how to. Like, you don't always have to try to one-up people.
Yeah,
is essentially his story here. So it's a whole bunch of different just problems and things they run into there until eventually Frosty just has to rescue him from a fox. Frosty has to rescue him from a fox.
Sure.
It's the end of that story.
Okay.
It's not that great.
Oh, that's great.
Oh.
Thanks, Frosty.
Yeah, this one was a little humorous. This one's called Frosty and Santa's Toys.
Frosty the Snowman and Santa's Toys.
So Frosty decides upon himself, like, hey, you know what? I think I want to go visit Santa. I need to go ahead and just head to the North Pole. That's where he's at.
Sure.
So Frosty hops on a trolley. And
a trolley.
and tells the guy, hey, I want to go to the North Pole. Trolley driver's like, I go to the edge of town. That's it. Frosty's like, all right, that's good enough. I'll just find somewhere from there.
Take me to the docks.
Yeah, he's sitting on the trolley. Everybody else on the trolley is apparently freezing their tuchuses off.
Tuchuses.
And so they all like huddle together and they whisper, and all of a sudden they stand up and all walk over to Frosty and they're like, would you please leave? We're cold, absolutely freezing. And he's like, sorry guys, I didn't realize. And the trolley guy says, you can just go stand outside.
These
like
people
on the
are
back
snowists.
part. They are. He's like, you can just go stand outside on the back part of the trolley out there. Honestly, look.
Wait.
He goes, right on the back.
What year is this?
1951. And he says, right on the black.
There's a slip.
Ride on the back platform, chum.
Well, I'm just saying, what year did that take place?
That was like 53, 54.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Oh, that's when I don't know if Rosa Parks happened before that. I assume that's what you're referencing.
Yeah, I am. I'm talking Rosa Parks.
I figured.
Let's see. It was.
Here's the thing. This wouldn't shock me.
1955.
Okay, so this wouldn't shock me if this was veiled like that.
I think it was already in the zeitgeist, right? People were already talking about these kind of things. But
in a way, it's like, oh, he's not a white person, so of course he's going to go sit on the back of the trolley. Like, that's what they're being racist in kids' comics. I mean, there's no way around it. And they are. I'm not even going to talk about the last story in here.
Well, yeah.
And you'll just see. Wait, is it this last one?
Weird.
It is this last one because you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, Mike. It is.
Okay. All right. So they make
but we're
Frosty,
focusing on the nice. Remember, this is nice, so
sure.
we're not.
So they make Frosty, the guy who's
Sit
different
on the
from
back of the
everybody,
trolley.
sit on the back of the trolley because everybody's uncomfortable.
Because if there's one thing that I know about Christmas, it's about not about tolerance at all.
That's right. No, Christmas is about
a place for everybody.
That's right. About how do we get our white Santa in our house? Yeah,
man. So he hops off when he gets to the edge of town, and he walks from the city limits, and he finds an airport.
Poor Frosty.
And then while he's there at the airport,
he's just so happy on this trolley. Look at him.
He's comfortable.
He's comfortable. And everybody's like, we don't like him. Get away.
He hops off.
Gross.
And we see a plane take off, and all of a sudden they're up in the air, and they go, "What? We're losing power." And you see the wings have frosted over. And like, what's up? And they look back and they see Frosty just sitting on the plane there with them.
Somebody just
and they have
Frosty just got on a plane and nobody noticed.
Just got on a plane and nobody noticed. Yeah. And they had to emergency land. Says, sorry, sir, but you ice up the controls. And Frosty's just like, yeah, guys, sure, I understand. And he just hops off the plane and just takes off walking. Then he comes across a train. This is like planes, trains, and automobiles of Frosty getting to Santa.
This can't be like the first time it's happened to him.
No, I'm sure, but I don't know. Then he sees a train and he finds a empty cart to hop into, and they go through a tunnel. And obviously, what powers a train, Mike?
Coal.
And so what does that create? Like a smog, like smoke.
Smog, steam.
So they go through a tunnel, and he comes out covered in soot then.
Come on.
So then he goes, well, never mind. And he has to go take a bath.
Frosty gets all covered in soot and has to take a bath.
And he sings while he takes a bath.
Oh.
And then he continues his trip to go see Santa.
Oh, come on.
And he's like, well, I've already flown. I've ridden. I've walked. This ice ahead looks like I can slide. But then he kind of runs out of area. And don't worry, though. He's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And he hears another voice talk to him that says, my friend, what seems to be your trouble? It's a swordfish.
Oh, yeah,
that's
sure.
Right. How many swordfish live up near the North Pole?
Oh, a lot of them.
Right?
Yeah, a lot of them. They love that cold water.
And Frosty says...
That's why they catch them all in Florida.
Frosty tells him, well, Mr. Swordfish, I had intended to go to the North Pole.
Well, Mr. Swordfish.
Yeah, I just assume that Frosty sounds like the narwhal from Elf.
Sure.
But he's like... is
that a pointy nose you got, or are you just happy to see me?
And give old Santa a hand, but... And the
Wait, what? Give old Santa the hand butt.
Give old Santa a hand.
Oh.
But,
Okay.
and the swordfish cuts him off and goes, here, let me help. And he basically cuts him out like a boat-shaped, like just triangle.
With his nose?
With his nose, slab of ice.
Wait, is this a swordfish?
And they get a bed sheet from somewhere. It is never explained how they get a bed sheet.
I love how we're picking this damn comic apart that's about a freaking snowman. This is the best.
Yeah, no, I'm just having fun with it. But still, no big explanation.
No, where you get a bed sheet in the middle of the water with a
Frosty
swordfish?
uses his...
That swordfish is goofy looking.
He is. He kind of looks like an anteater in a way.
He does.
But here's the thing, too. They also got an extra pole.
They got an extra pole.
Because Frosty uses his broomstick as one part.
As the mast.
And there's an extra pole to go across his broomstick, and then there's a sheet for the sail.
And then Frosty gets on he gets on the cross, and then he...
Oh, whoa.
Oh, sorry. Is that too much?
For our show, I feel.
Yeah, that's too much. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. That's the one that did it. Melts on the cross. All right. So he's on this makeshift sailboat that this talking swordfish has made him out of a sheet and a pole that didn't exist before. Yeah. All right.
So
on his way to see Santa.
He's now sailing to see Santa, and he comes across other icebergs with toys on them.
Oh.
And these toys are like, well, can I catch a ride with you? And Frosty's like, yeah. And he comes across more toys on more icebergs. And
this
they
is
all
almost
just
like Misfit Toys.
Kind of it
thing,
is.
Right?
And he's like
Why
saving all these toys.
Out there?
And all of them then go like, hey, where are you headed after all? And he's like, oh, I'm going to the North Pole to help Santa. And they all get scared. And they're like, we just left the North Pole. We don't want to go back.
Oh, my God.
Well, apparently they have heard reports. I have to find the...
Show me on the iceberg where Santa touched you.
No. It's not that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Don't do Santa like that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, I mean, not this Santa.
Yeah, that's never happened. There's never been a person who dresses up like Santa that did bad stuff. You're right. Sure.
I think I gave everybody enough time to Google to see all the people who have dressed up like Santa and have done that thing.
All right, so they're scared. They just left
they don't want to go back.
They don't want to go back.
And Frosty's like, why don't y'all want to go back? And they're like, see, it's not that we don't like Santa. It's just that the kids that get us for Christmas, they're going to tear us apart.
Oh.
Like, they're going to leave us rough. They're going to leave us out at night. Like, they're not going to take care of us. And we're afraid of that. And we thought that if this year we didn't show up, that would kind of teach them a lesson. If they didn't get toys, that, hey, they need to be nicer.
Sure.
And Frosty's like, I'm afraid that you've got it all wrong. Guys, here, let me tell you about it. And then we cut to Santa, and Santa's all worried, trying to figure out where the toys are. All he knows is that they've left a note that say they've somehow heard bad reports on how they might be treated, and they've run away.
Okay.
What kind of radio is Santa listening to while he's building these toys where they hear, and in today's news, children might be little turds and extremely rough to their toys.
And so from what we're to believe, the elves make the toys.
Yes.
Right? But they're all living, breathing things now. And all of them got away from the North Pole and floated on icebergs.
Yes.
Frosty's got like 6 of them.
Yes.
Where's the rest of
them? I don't know. There's a lot more. See, like when he shows up.
Oh, yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
He's got a bunch of them.
Yeah, that's enough for the whole planet.
But they all show back up, and...
Do the elves get involved?
No. Frosty just talks them back into coming. Like, Frosty's like, hey, Santa, it's me, Frosty. And Santa's like, yeah, I've heard of you, Frosty. And
I've heard of you, you white bastard.
Yes, sir. I've heard of Frosty. I've heard of you, Frosty. That's what he said.
Sure.
And he goes, yeah, Santa, Frosty had a little talk with us. He told us a few things about the children we're going to be given to.
He also has a handgun.
And Frosty says, Santa, I merely pointed out that for every child who treats them badly, why, there are 100 who will love and care for them.
Right.
But by the way, Santa, I really came up to help you. He was like, yeah, I talked these toys into coming, but I was really there to. help you out. Santa thanks him, and that's the end of
this
that
is
story.
literally just wait. That's the end
of that story.
So he just made it to see Santa.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, our last one that we're not going to talk about, Mike.
Yeah.
What's
the name of it?
It just says Frosty.
Okay.
They didn't even title it.
Okay.
The story is set up where Frosty goes to see Santa, and Santa sends him on a special reconnaissance mission just because they can't tell if
Frosty's his wet work guy.
Santa can't tell this kid's right on the line if he's a good kid or a bad kid.
Yeah, okay.
So he sends Frosty to go see him.
Yeah, go freeze his ass. See what happens.
They're in the North Pole, right?
Sure.
So it's the 1950s. You would think that probably most American writers would think that there would be some form of native people that
Eskimo
live there.
Thing? Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And it is, and the way he talks so bad.
Really?
The way they do. But yeah, so essentially moral of the story is this kid is just already happy with the way life is. And he tells Frosty that he doesn't want any toys. Santa can just give those toys to somebody else. He
loves living in it.
Yeah, he's already happy. He loves his mom. He loves his dad. He's happy with life. And he doesn't want toys. Give it to somebody else who could use it. And Frosty's like, oh, all right, this kid's
very balanced. Yeah,
he knows a thing or two about life.
Yeah.
So it's a good story there. But they just
It's the way that he talks, huh?
Yeah. And the way he's drawn, obviously, too. But
I just like the fact that the dog says woof.
The dog does say woof. Yeah. But it ends with later, and a happy boy is a good boy and deserves toys on Christmas Day. Santa?
That's what my wife says to me all the time. Right. A happy boy's a good boy.
Where can I say? Oh.
Before she hits me with
goes,
the frying pan.
That's the thing. The kid's name is Ookie.
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 Okay. And Frosty says, well, Ookie may be just a little mischievous, and that's against him. But he's generous, and he's happy. And that's the main thing. He's happy.
Good little happy Ookie. All right, cool.
So that's that.
Happy Ookie to you.
Our other Frosty is Dell Comics number 748. And that doesn't mean that there's been 748 issues of Frosty. Dell Comics numbering, the way it worked is, so they would have multiple releases per month, but they just numbered every comic that same numbering. So the Walt Disney comic for that month might be 747.
Oh, gotcha.
And then the Western comic for that month might be 749. So it's not
point out this quick little comic on the back of the
Frosty and it's a departure to Frosty for that season.
So birds singing, Frosty's wandering around. He sees that the snow is starting to melt, and he sees the sun. He starts sweating a little bit. He runs real quick over to where his house is. His house is a refrigerator. He slams himself in the refrigerator with a note that says, be back next winter. I have always wondered why kids get in refrigerators. Now I know. It's Frosty's fault.
Because of Frosty.
Yeah. All those dead kids in refrigerators, Frosty's
fault. Yep. That's where, 1951, how young? Oh, no, never mind. Indiana Jones would have been... It would have been pre-Frosty, I think.
Yes.
Of him in a refrigerator.
40-something. Yeah,
right? Yeah, never mind. So it's still Indiana Jones. Well, but nobody knew about it. Somebody, obviously, who worked on Frosty Comics.
Right. No, they just said...
If we're in a world where we connect...
Funny.
If we're in a world where Frosty and Indiana Jones are in the same world. Which I think we are. I think we should do that, Mike. We should start just having... No, we should have a bros foes just universe where what happens in it, it's kind of like ours, but other things happen in it. So in our bros foes universe, Indiana Jones and Frosty the Snowman exist in the same universe. And
okay.
There you go.
Well, let's do that.
There you go.
How many kids died in old refrigerators? This is from March 11th, 2022. Let's see.
What about new refrigerators?
How about new kids?
Some people don't get our humor.
Well, put their kid in the refrigerator. It says, because it's unlawful in many local jurisdictions to discard old refrigerators without first removing the door.
There's an episode. You never watch much South Park, do you?
Not really. No.
There's an episode where Cartman convinces Butters that, like, there's a big nuclear bomb coming.
Yeah.
And he locks him in a refrigerator. And it's just because I can't remember. It's either Stan or Kyle's birthday. I want to say it's Kyle's birthday. Do you remember whose it is? I know they're going to Casa Bonita.
Yeah, it was Kyle's birthday.
Okay, it is Kyle's
Mason,
birthday.
Yeah.
So Mason's able to help you remember this. I think it's like it's earlier on.
Season 8, I believe.
Okay. See, I had season.
Man, look at that.
That's good. I had season 4 and season 8 on DVD. That's all I
Okay.
had. So
All
I
right,
watched
sure.
those over and over again.
One or the other. Yeah.
Until they were now on HBO Max, and I go back and watch whatever I want
Sure.
to. So, but yeah. So Cartman convinces.
It's actually season 11. I'm an idiot.
Uh-oh.
Okay, then I don't know how I remember that one. Then either way,
I don't
I've
think-
seen it, love it. But Cartman puts it in there, or talks Butters into, hey, there's a giant bomb coming.
Okay.
And convinces him to stay inside a refrigerator just because Kyle is having a birthday party and taking him to a Casa Bonita. Casa Bonita is like I don't know. I guess it's an actual real place. I think it is.
Okay.
Up in the Colorado area where it's a giant Mexican food restaurant, but they have like, he wants to take like a picture in like Pirates Gold, and there's, divers that jump off like this giant waterfall into a pool. Yeah. And, but yeah, so he talks Butters and convinces him to stay in a refrigerator for a couple days. So they think he's missing so he can get invited to the birthday party.
Does he die?
No, Butters gets out and doesn't, I think the refrigerator gets picked up by the garbage people, and somehow he's out so he does believe that he's really like the last person left kind of thing. It's a whole side story.
Between the years of 1956 and 1964, 163 deaths were reported nationwide from old style refrigerators. And between 73 and 84, it got better because there were only 96 kids died.
Why is there so many
in fridges?
Like, I don't think that's a problem now. Is it because we built it to where kids can't fit into our refrigerators?
I think, I think maybe, I don't know. Maybe there.
Was it a locking mechanism on the old ones?
That's what I'm saying. Is it, like the old style? Remember, they got that big ass handle on it.
Well, so my grandparents had, there's a wooden icebox that they had. That had like the metal wires in there that obviously you would put the giant, and it had like you'd have to pull up and pull back.
It's got
so
like an
if you were in
latch.
there, I get that.
Well, it's kind of like
but by like the 70s, I thought. Well, I don't know.
It was like what 80s or 90s when they put the thing in the back of the trunk so you could release yourself if you were trapped in a trunk. Remember that?
Later than that.
It may have been later than that. Anyway, Frosty...
It glowed in the dark, too.
Frosty caused all these kids to die, is all I'm saying.
All right, so Frosty, Dell Comics number 748 to wrap up our Frosty stories here, which was 5 years later, 1956.
Okay. This is the year when the kids started really dying.
Yeah. There's no icebox in this one, though, so they were doing their part. Okay. We get a story in this year's issues about how all the animals are scared about this bear that's new in the forest.
Oh.
And Frosty talks to the bear, and the bear's like, I'm really just a nice bear, but nobody lets me talk to him and tell them I'm a nice bear.
They just see him as a big bear.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they run away scared. Problem. Frosty's like, I have an idea. Hey, I'm going to tell everybody that I'm going to have a party, and it's going to be a costume party. Everybody show up and dress like another animal.
Uh-huh.
So they get there for the costume party, and all the other animals are dressed up like other animals.
This is a furry party.
It is.
And
the bear walks up dressed like Frosty.
Okay.
And they're like,
but he still looks like
it's
a
Frosty.
Damn bear. He's not.
But they think it's Frosty.
What?
They do. They're like, wow, what an outfit, Frosty. For a minute, you had us scared.
These animals are stupid.
Yeah, okay.
Because he looks like a bear.
So they party all night. They have a bunch of fun. And then it's like, all right, guys, it's time to remove our costumes. And so everybody takes off their masks.
Sexy time.
And the bear takes off the scarf and hat. And they're like, but Frosty, aren't you going to remove yours? And Frosty steps out from behind a tree. And he's like, no, not at all. Hey, guys, y'all been hanging out with the bear all this time. And they're like, oh, wow, he's such a cool dude.
He's a good bear.
Boom.
Well, that's how
you do
it.
That one. Then there's Frosty the Snowman in Battle Royal, where Frosty...
Wait, what?
Battle
Royal?
With
the cage and everything?
No.
Oh.
But Frosty goes see Santa. Santa sends him on some more work. You know, Santa likes to send him out to do jobs.
Sure.
Santa tells him, hey, there's this kid who doesn't even know about me. Like, he seems like he's a good kid, but I can't even tell if he doesn't even know about me. Doesn't believe in me. Go see what's up there.
Can we go back to the bear just for a second?
Yeah, what's up?
I just saw a video the other day of a bear that comes into a convenience store and steals a bunch of candy.
Yeah.
Right? I just want you to watch part of this video here.
Okay.
The door's open to the convenience store. In comes a bear. He's sniffing around. This dude that works at the convenience store just stands there and talks to the bear like he's going to convince him to leave.
Where is this at?
I don't remember. Look at this guy.
Yeah, but
now the guy's talking about, it was a bear. I tried to get him to go away, but he just wouldn't
that
do
would
it.
explain a lot to me if I knew where it was, because I feel like people in Alaska are kind of like used to that more.
In Lake Tahoe, California.
I mean, that is kind of bear country, but I don't know if it'd be
this is
common occurrence bear in a gas station territory.
This is the beginning of a joke. Bear walks into a convenience store, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I was fascinated by the fact that this guy he wanted to talk the bear out of getting all his candy.
Well, he was like, hey,
if I see a bear come in here, y'all are all screwed because I'm leaving. I'm not talking to this bear.
You're not going to try to convince him to buy candy?
No, I'm not going to try to convince him to leave either. I'm done. I'm leaving.
Well, it's good to know that you will leave me behind.
I will leave you behind for a bear. Yes.
Frosty goes to
I would expect nothing but that from you as well.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. When the time comes, I'll make that decision, though. Frosty.
In the end, we all get eaten by a bear.
So Frosty travels to this place called
Why does Frosty look so weird this time?
That's a different
His
artist.
head's all weird.
Yeah, but he's going to, where's this place at again? Farowania.
Farowania.
To go see this kid. Well, essentially, he sneaks into the castle because nobody's allowed in the castle.
Doesn't really believe, right?
Yeah, doesn't believe, doesn't know about it. Or doesn't know about Santa Claus.
This looks very much like an England type town, right? Like a town in England or something.
Well, essentially, we find out that the king isn't letting the prince, because it's the prince who doesn't know.
The prince doesn't
really be a kid. So Frosty convinces him through a snowball fight that, hey, yeah, you should let your kid be a kid. That means, haven't you told him about Santa? And he's like, no, I thought he was too childish for him. And he's like, well, yeah, that's part of the problem. Tell him about Santa. Yeah. All right, it's Christmas Eve. I'll tell him tonight. And Santa goes.
He throws a snowball at the king and knocks his crown off.
Yeah, and Santa says, all right, I'll go give him presents tonight. And that's the end of that one. So, I mean, I don't know.
Okay, great.
I'd give it, make it bigger and grandiose, but this is my other favorite one. Okay. I loved the one with the evil snowman, and then this
is Frosty the Snowman in the Christmas Mystery.
The Christmas Mystery.
Okay.
So Frosty is walking along, and all of a sudden he hears like a fight between a girl and her father.
Okay. About
things happening around the house, about somebody spilling the cookie jar, and
her
Frosty
getting a piercing.
Frosty shows up because he's like, that's Sally Smith. She's always a really good kid. Like, Sally I don't Smith. Know why.
Yeah, she's impeccable.
What's up? And so he's like, excuse me for butting in, but what's the problem, guys? And Sally's like, Frosty, we have a ghost here in our house. Like,
Frosty, get the hell out. This is between us. This is family business.
So the dad lets him stay there and kind of talks.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So they're sitting there, and Sally's like, oh, we have a ghost. We have a ghost, and things keep happening in the house. And Frosty's listening to her. And while they're talking, all of a sudden, there's a giant sneeze. And Frosty goes, Gesundheit. And Sally looks around and says, well, I didn't sneeze. It's probably that ghost again. And Frosty's like,
what ghosts do.
That's weird. Okay. And then Sally shows him her new doll, a new baby boy doll that she has.
Okay.
She got it for Christmas. Frosty says, all right, I'll swing by tomorrow night, not tonight, tomorrow night, to check on this ghost problem. I'll try to help figure it out.
You just go ahead and stay here with that ghost tonight, Sally. I'll check it out tomorrow.
Frosty decides to outsmart the ghost then. He's like, you know what? I'll check on it.
He makes a paper cutout out of himself.
I'll check on it
leaves
tonight.
it in the window.
Mike, what do you think the ghost is right now?
What do I think the ghost is?
Yeah. Here, I'm letting you see the whole panel.
Baby doll. Check it out. I really don't know.
So
it's coming from her baby doll carriage.
Yeah.
I choose.
So Frosty sneaks back in the house.
Is it like a cat or a dog?
So Frosty sneaks back in the house to see what's up. And when
Didn't
he's
Frosty
kind of
just
hiding,
leave a puddle everywhere? By the way,
no, he says that the heat's off.
Okay.
Luckily for me, the heat's turned off at night. Ho ho.
So he literally addresses the fact that he's not.
He does. He's like, "Hi, you might have thought that
leaving water everywhere."
Turned off.
Yeah, Frosty's
And
too
he's
smart
like, and
for
plus, you might hear a little slush slush, but aside from that, I'm quiet. He doesn't say slush slush. He says, except for a squish or a yeah, except for a squish or a squish, a snowman like me can move about as quietly as this so-called ghost.
Frosty's always so wet.
That was.
I'm sorry. All right, so I'm thinking this ghost is
Frosty's
like a dog or a cat or
behind the. All of a sudden, there's a cough from.
Oh, it's a cough.
The carriage, like like a cough.
Snow baby.
And Frosty says, "By Jingo,
by Jingo,
it's the new doll alive."
Oh,
and the doll hops up and goes, the coast is clear." When I I immediately thought of those old Bugs Bunny commercials with that gangster that's
where
the
baby is a man,
and I was like, "They're not gonna steal this for this." Like
Oh, I hope
no,
so.
it turns out we come to find out that the little person is
come on,
an elf actually.
Okay,
from Santa's workshop.
Thought you were gonna say the M word.
No. No, he's an elf from Santa's workshop. And what happened is he was building the baby carriage on Christmas Eve, or right before time to leave on Christmas Eve. Figured he had time, crawled into the carriage.
A nap in the damn carriage.
Crawled into the carriage he just finished, took a nap. When he woke up, he was underneath the tree.
And then he has to play dead every time
he was like...
I mean, does he have to play dead every time she picks him up?
He decided to play it with just play it straight. So, yeah. Like, she's put him in new clothes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Okay, wait a minute. Does he...
It doesn't talk about it.
I'm going to ask
put him in new clothes.
I'm going to ask a very delicate question here.
It does not address it. It does not address it.
No elf genitalia.
It does not address it.
Okay. Maybe they're all smooth down there.
Like a Ken doll?
Like a Ken doll, yeah.
I don't know.
Little green smooth patches.
Don't email us at brosfozandheroes@gmail.com.
Please, let's talk about this is on our Patreon. Foot stuff and elf genitalia.
So
it's a special tab.
He's like, and I haven't been able to figure out what to do. And Frosty's like, oh, well, her dad, he tells the, don't you know how to make toys? And I was like, well, yeah. And Frosty says, her dad has a workshop. Just steal stuff from there and make a replica doll of yourself, and then you can leave.
That, you'd be surprised how many times that is the solution to a problem.
Exactly.
Just make a replica of yourself and leave.
And the elf's like, oh, all right, that's cool. So he goes down there. Frosty can't tell the difference between the two. They switch them out, and then the elf just leaves and runs away.
Turns out her dad's been killing kids
Santa
for a while anyway. They're all buried in the,
the last one is about a straw man that.
Wait, so he just makes a
replacement doll, and then he runs away to the North Pole. Yeah.
Takes off.
The last one's about a straw man, it's called And the Straw Man, but it's a scarecrow who's not a good scarecrow because he's really good at making corny jokes that the crows like. So they always gather around him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he gets fired as being a scarecrow. So he goes and he looks for work. He can't get work at a beauty shop. He can't get work at a local grocery.
Scarecrow goes and looks for work.
Because he's scaring people. So then Frosty's like, hey, you're such a great performer. Why don't you just perform for these people here? And so he and Frosty start doing a bit out in the street, and a crowd gathers. And then a Hollywood agent shows up and he's like, oh, it's great. I want to sign you guys. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding you. And I want to sign you guys. And both of them say, nope, we're good. Well, I mean, I'm a snowman. I'm a scarecrow. What are we going to do with thousands of dollars?
The guy is so shocked his glasses fly off of his face.
And he's like, what do you mean? And they're like, plus, we can get a crowd anytime. And that's it. Oh, there's also a small comic on the inside cover where Santa's about to fly away with all the toys, but they have more left over and they don't know what to do. So Frosty goes and steals the bathtub and puts skis on it for like an extra secondary sleigh on the back of Santa's sleigh.
Okay.
The one thing I do love too is you can tell there's a difference in 5 years.
Yeah.
On the back here, there is a pledge, Dell Comics to parents.
A pledge.
And it says, the Dell trademark is and always has been a positive guarantee that the comic magazine bearing it contains only clean and wholesome entertainment.
No kids were killed in a refrigerator.
The Dell Code eliminates entirely rather than regulates objectable material. That's why when your child buys a Dell comic, you can be sure it contains only good fun.
And zero elf
fun.
genitalia.
No bad fun. Right. Dell Comics are good comics is our only credo and constant goal.
Wow.
There you go.
Nice. That's great.
So
well,
that's Frosty the Snowman and Dell Comics. They had to put that code in after they got all racist the last time we saw Frosty.
Well, they got a little racist. They killed some kids in a fridge. And
but hey, you can be promised anytime you pick up a Dell comic, it's good fun.
Congress said, I tell you what, put this pledge on the back of it. We'll forget about those kids.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, great.
There you go.
Wow, these are fun.
So some old school fun, Frosty, wintry Christmas fun for this week. Next week, I have another, I consider it to be a pretty funny Batman related Christmas story, similar to the Christmas Carol singing from one of DC's Christmas specials. And then also we will dive into the Lobo Christmas special.
That's cool.
On next week's
forward to that
issue. Then I got to figure out what to do the last week of the year, because I don't want to do Christmas because Christmas will pass.
Sure.
So I got to figure out how to close it out with a bang. I just did it for 2 weeks. I didn't make the whole month
it was
about
wonderful,
it.
Yeah.
Really?
No. I didn't mean it that way. I just meant the holiday is a lot.
Oh.
It personally, professionally, it is a lot.
I feel like it was a diss.
No, it wasn't a diss.
Towards me as a co-host.
Hey, to quote the back of this Frosty comic, Roger, I'm off, honk honk.
There you go. There's not a better way to close out than that. So, as always, want to point out you can find us on Instagram, brofo.hero, or email us, brosfoesandheroes@gmail.com, Twitter,
honk.
brosfoesandheroes. Mike, also, we can, I'm completely blanking.
Well, I think what you were going to say is there's a lot of other shows at roguemedianetwork.com.
I say it after every episode. You would think I'd be able to get it.
Yeah, I get it. The honking of Frosty
threw me off.
Yeah.
But yes, a lot of great podcasts in our family of podcasts over at roguemedianetwork.com.
I will say that Frosty is he's a very confident.
Well, he's a happy, jolly soul.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that was good. Oh, that was a good pull.
Thank you.
I enjoyed that.
Thank you. And see, if you listened all the way till the end, you got to hear that, Jim, too. That's probably the best joke of the whole podcast right there.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
You had to listen through a lot to get to it, but yeah.
You had to listen to
You're
the
welcome for that
crap,
one guy or gal that's here right now.
Yeah, that's right. Whoever's here, our pledge to you is we only put out mediocre content.
I mean, you get further in the podcast listening than my own wife does.
That's true. What is the phrase that pays this week? What did we say?
No, it was something about corn.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember. How about Frosty?
Eat your corn, kids.
Frosty and the Furries.
Frosty and the Furries.
Oh, there's no better way
and
than
with
to close out with that.
We are out of here, and now Mason will play Frosty the Snowman.
Can we do that?
Sure, we can. We can do whatever the hell we want.
All right. Then
here we go.
Yeah. Boom.
Bye. Oh shit.
Oh, I thought you were gonna golly con it.
Golly con. I'm so sorry.
Pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about. This has been a Rogue Media podcast.